Oh, let me turn this off. Okay. So I am in a hotel room, and honestly the lighting in here is good, but then it's like bad, but whatever. I needed to record this video because I need to get it out. Anyway, so people ask me, well, okay, first of all, I know I need to be a little bit more animated, but right now I'm not talking about a subject that like makes me animated. It really just makes me I don't know, kind of sad, but whatever. So a couple of weeks ago, I asked everybody on my Facebook to kind of like give me some topics, and I don't know why I listened to everybody about like put this topic up there, put this topic up there, but I listened and I had everybody like put this certain topic up, and it was about overcoming domestic violence. Well, I was supposed to post it yesterday, but I did not. I'm posting it today because I don't know, it's taking me a minute to like, one, be comfortable with the subject, and two, really be able to tell y'all about it. So it's not overcoming. You can never overcome domestic violence. Like, no, I'm not gonna say like there's no hope for domestic violence, but what I'm gonna say is domestic violence is like a mindset. It is something that you're like trained to deal with, or you're trained to get used to. So it's hard just leaving a situation alone. Like, some women be like, I don't care, just leave him alone, blah blah blah. It's hard to leave a situation alone when you're so used to it. And I'm talking about verbal abuse, I'm talking about physical abuse, all kinds of abuse that you could be dealing with. It's really hard to leave those types of situations alone until you're 100% fed up. For me, my situation was a little serious, and I'm smiling because that's the only way. Like, when I get a little nervous about some stuff, I smile through it, and that's the best way I could do it. That person had a drinking problem. That person was older than me, and I'm just not gonna sit here and bash that person. They was actually really funny, and they were really cool too. But at the same time, there are some things that when you look at it in hindsight, you realize like, you shouldn't have been really rocking with that type of situation. You should have known more about yourself. I was in that relationship for a long time, and when I got home, I was really serious and committed to the relationship. Whether I was committed and serious to the relationship beforehand, that doesn't matter. At this time, I was really serious and really committed to the relationship. That person had a drinking problem. Like, he had a drinking problem. He drank tequila like nobody's business. And you know how somebody is one way when they drink and another way when they don't. That was him. He was the sweetest person you could ever meet. Before you drank with that person, like, he was so sweet. He would do anything for me. Like, anything I asked, he would do it for me. He would put his life on the line for me. Like, it was that serious. Like, we were in love, like, you know. So I took it as, I take the good with the bad, because when he got drunk, his emotions, he had little patience for me, and I am a high maintenance chick. He had little patience for me, and you know, he would snap off a lot. He would say stuff, and he would say little things, and I never reminded him of the things he would say when he was sober, because he would never remember, or he would just brush it off, or we would, you know, do whatever else and just make up, and it would be okay. Every time we would battle each other, battle it out, and it's hard to release because like some of these people that's on my Facebook page are like my friends and stuff like that, but whatever. But over time we would get into arguments and fights and stuff, but nobody would know that we would be fighting. Nobody would know that because he wouldn't remember. Like, he would wake up and legit not remember that he like put his hands on me, and I would just shake it off. Plus I had another house to go to, so if he was a little too drunk at night, I would just go home, and that wouldn't happen to me. That was my way of avoiding the situation. But it had got so out of hand because his emotional state or whatever and everything, financially, all type of stuff was kind of getting out of hand, that like, you know, he decided to give me a key, and I thought giving me that key, ooh, I thought that was the boy. Gave me that key, I thought it was on and popping, but no, it wasn't. it wasn't on and popping. Shortly after, we kind of like got into it, and for me, I had enough, because a situation had happened where he was like literally shitting on my plate and telling me to eat it. Really? No. But the situation happened, and that was like, I don't know, enough for me. I felt so uncomfortable. My friend had to come with me to kind of get my things, because I was so uncomfortable about it. Like, I didn't want to be alone, because it was just a situation that, like, his emotions were very, very high, because he felt like he was losing me, and apparently I was very, very important to him. So, you know what I'm saying, I felt like he was willing to risk it all or whatever for me to keep me, and now I wasn't willing to be on like somebody's snap. I decided that it was gonna be a merry-go-round again, and I was gonna go back. I went back, and I told him the only way I'm coming back is if you don't drink. Well, needless to say, to me, he had a water bottle, and so I thought he was drinking water. I swear, maybe my mind just was like in La La Land, the clouds or whatever. But next thing I know, that man is drunk. Just drunk. And I smelled his breath, and it was tequila. It was in a water bottle, but it was tequila. And his friends were, I would say his friends were enabling him, because they kept filling up his water bottle instead of just saying like, you know, okay bro, you had enough. They just kept filling up his water bottle because they thought it was funny. So now he's drunk and belligerent, and guess who has to take him home? Me, because I have a key. So I took him home or whatever, and while he was in the house, you know, I'm a female, and I felt like, you know, we back together, and we not about to have no secrets or whatever. So I went through his phone. I'm not gonna advise any woman ever to go through a man's phone, because it's not fun. Like, you only go through the phone if you're looking for something, because you know you're gonna find something. I wouldn't advise any woman ever to go through a man's phone, because honestly, like, that shit was stupid. But I went through his phone, and I found like a bunch of incriminating messages or whatever. I kicked off an argument. I said, wake up, because he was asleep. I woke him up, and I was like, what is this, blah blah blah. And he didn't really realize like what was going on. So I was like, I done had enough, blah blah blah. And so all I know is he woke up, he had to pee, so he peed or whatever. And a couple of our friends had came over, and I was like, you know what, I'm not taking care of no drunk man, I'm over it, I don't want to talk to him. They had came over, and I was like, that's enough, I done had enough, I done had enough, blah blah blah. So I'm leaving, I'm crying, I'm like, hey, you gotta drink it, blah blah, crying, all that other good stuff. And he came outside, God. He came outside reckless. I'm not even gonna spill tea about how he came outside, but just know he came outside reckless. He came outside reckless, and I was just like, you know what? He arguing with his family, he arguing with his friends, and he really just want me. So I'm gonna just go back on the inside. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take you in the house. Come on, let's go in the house. Blah blah blah. Because at the end of the day, I really had a lot of love for this person. Still do, but I really, really had a lot of love for this person. It was late at night, and I didn't want him to go to jail or nothing. I don't even know what they call it, like belligerent behavior. I don't know, whatever. But I went back in the house. So I went back in the house with him, and he fussing and cussing and moving around and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, it's all because of you. And I was like, woo, me? What do you mean me? And so I'm snappy. I have a smart mouth. Like, I really do have a smart mouth. Is that an excuse for somebody to hit you? No, but I have a smart mouth. Long story short, he grabs a knife, pins me up, and says like, you ain't going nowhere, baby girl. And you know, I had to do what I had to do to get about that situation. And for some reason, his cousins and stuff was still on the block, so I ran out the house crying, all type of stuff, because I think it happened. I think it took like, what, 20 minutes for him to do that. But I legit thought I was gonna lose my life, because I was looking him in his face like, it's me, bro, it's me. And y'all have ever, I don't know if y'all have ever seen somebody when they're drunk and they have kind of like a split personality or something. Their eyes look different, their body language look different, like they get these muscles out of nowhere. Well, that's what happened. Like, he was legit strong. Like, I got a scar still to this day right here. I got a scar still to this day from how he pinned me up. And honestly, I was just like, oh my god. So needless to say, I got out of that situation, but I almost did it. I got out of that situation, and I never looked back. Honestly, I tried so hard, but I never looked back. I did not call the police. I did not do anything, but I never looked back. I still get uncomfortable because there's still some situations where I see that person just in passing. If our work puts us in the same place, like, I still see that person, and honestly, I get a little uncomfortable, but I already know they have changed their life per se. I don't trust it, so I won't put myself in that type of position anymore. But they say they changed their life and they don't drink anymore, and honestly, I feel like that was the only reason why. Now that you know that, from that situation, I was able to open myself up to love again. There's still some things that still are triggers for me from my old relationship and my new relationship, and that's a me problem. That's not a him problem, that's a me problem, and that's things that I need to get over, I need to work on. And the way that I do it is day by day and through music. I know this is fresh culture, and you know, you have to talk about how you get over some mental situations through music. Well, the only album that was able to get me through this was Mary J. Blige, No More Drama. Honestly, it might sound like a cliche, but that was the only thing that could get me through it. And it was this documentary that Mary J. Blige has, I don't know what it was called. I think it was called Behind the Music or something. And it talked about how when she was addicted to drugs, she like saw this devil looking figure or something, and that just snapped her out. Well, that was my situation that just snapped me out and told me, like, you don't need to go back. I want to leave y'all with some tips on how, if you're dealing with domestic violence, and if you're feeling like you want to get out of that situation, or you're out of that situation but you want to go back during that merry-go-round, I'm not gonna judge you. If that's what you want to do, I'm not gonna judge you, but just know that death is real, and like, it can get to that point. I didn't believe that I was really in a domestic violence type of situation until I got to that point, and until I looked back in my relationship on hindsight, I didn't believe it. So I'm not gonna tell you, but you know, if there are signs where your man is controlling, if there are signs where you feel like you always got to answer the phone for this person, or you got to change your clothes when you're around them because of stuff that you wear, or you feel like if you do certain things that it's gonna hinder you or hurt you because of him, then maybe, just maybe, you're in a domestic violence situation. And if so, there's hotlines that you can call, there's things that you can do, and all of that. For me, the way I got out of the situation was I surrounded myself around family and friends. I surrounded myself around my goals and things that I wanted to do to elevate myself, because I know that I want to go to another level, a higher level. I don't want to just be a middle class individual. I want to be a part of that little 1%, and it's gonna take severe drive and severe focus to get there. And those types of things help you get out of those situations, because you're no longer focused on the man, or you're no longer focused on your current situation. You're focused on your future. So you're doing things and you're plotting out things to get you to your future. I wrote 5 things down when I left that situation. I wrote 5 things down. I said, Lord, send me a man that acts like my father. I have 2 daddies, but there's one daddy in particular that I want my man to be like, and that's my stepfather, but he's really my father. That's the person that I want my man to be like. So I said, Lord, step 1, send me a man like him. 2, help me have the courage and the confidence to surpass any situation. 3, help me understand that my current situation is not my end result, and put me in positions of opportunity to surpass and exceed my own dreams. 4, Lord, please give me financial obedience and financial responsibilities that force me to be overtly responsible. And 5, bless the person that I just left. Now 5 is the most important situation, because you never want to leave a situation in spite or revenge or anything like that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna come up. No, I want that individual to be as blessed and as prosperous as ever, because I believe in karma. And I believe if you wish ill will on people, ill will will come back to you. I don't wish any ill will on that person. And I really hope that they have changed their life. And I really hope that they have come out of that situation, because honestly, it was bad. Like, it was bad. So I really hope that they've come out of that situation. I really hope that they've learned something from our relationship, because I learned something. So I hope that they did. But I also learned a lot about myself. And honestly, when you're trying to get out of a domestic violence situation, the first thing that you have to conquer is your mindset. And that's a day-by-day process. You have to first get fed up with the situation yourself. You can't have 10,000 people telling you what you should and should not be doing, because honestly, it's not going to work that way. But that's what worked for me.